We start with our Newsmaker segment, and as I mentioned, focus on Jackson County government, a frequent source of news in recent weeks. The sheriff resigned. There are continuing battles between the legislature and the county executive. There's the continuing debate about what to do with the county jail. And there's talk of term limits and changing the county charter. To talk about those issues and more is veteran legislator Crystal Williams, elected at large from the 2nd District. Crystal, welcome to Ruckus. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
You're in your 2nd term on the county legislature, originally elected in 2010 and again in 2014. You're running for election this August and you hope again this November.
I hope so, yes.
So you've been in Jackson County government for a while, for about 8 years, so you've seen what's going on there from the inside. What do you see as the issue that most needs to be resolved right now at Jackson County government? And I know there are many, but
there are many, but I'm going to kind of I would like to look at it more globally.
All right.
And one of the things that I've said for some time is that I think that we need a cultural adjustment at Jackson County. I think that, as my colleague Tony Miller has put at one point, there have been veterans who've been around a long time that they kind of look at Jackson County government as transactional in nature. There's a pretty well entrenched kind of patronage, old school idea there. And I think that it lacks transparency, and I think that's a real problem.
Well, there's talk of the need for a new charter.
I was one of the first people that brought that up.
And there is a possibility of putting it on the ballot this August, and you think that's too soon?
It's too soon. For one thing, I think we should probably have a charter commission. If we wanted to make a couple of changes, for instance, I agree that the combat program should be moved back into the prosecutor's office. That's a pretty simple fix.
That one fights drugs, right?
Yes, yeah. And that's where it started. It moved over sometime
back when Mike Sanders was prosecuting
Mike
attorney.
moved it. No, it actually started before Mike.
Oh, did it? Okay.
Mike moved it to the executive's office with him. There's a precedence for it being under the prosecutor, and I think that's a better home for it.
Are you in favor of term limits as are being talked about?
Here's the way I feel about term limits. I think term limits destroyed Jefferson City. However, after the many years of battling the entrenched interests at Jackson County, if I had to vote for them, I would. Probably if I could get some other things. I am not inclined to vote for pay raises for the elected officials in Jackson County, and that's also in these charter proposals.
It'd be a pretty hefty pay raise, as I understand it, what's being proposed to be paid the same as the city council members did.
It does a few things. I mean, I think it drops the county executive's pay, which I think is actually, it's a pretty blatant smack at the county executive. And then it raises the pay of the sheriff and the prosecutor, and then raises the pay of the legislators a bit.
While you've been on the legislature, Mike Sanders was the county executive, and you've served under the Frank White administration. Are there dramatic differences?
I wish there were more dramatic differences. I mean, I've actually told Frank recently that I thought he kept too many people from the previous administration in place. Some of them are fabulous, some of them are not. I think he could have made bigger changes. I was the first woman chair of the Jackson County legislature, and I was actually there when Mike announced that he was leaving about, I don't know, right as I was taking the chairmanship. And I think that it's kind of funny because I was told that I would never be the chair by some of my colleagues until there was a crisis.
Until you were the chair.
Yes, until there was a crisis looming, and then suddenly I was the chair.
For as long as I can recall, and I've been in the Kansas City area a long time, the Jackson County Jail has been a concern, an issue. Is there any hope that's going to be resolved fairly soon?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And in what way?
Well, there's a task force that's still meeting. I wasn't necessarily in support of that task force because I was there when we ordered an audit of the jail. There's been other studies. It's pretty clear to most people that jail needs to be replaced. Security reasons alone, that the whole way that it's built is outmoded, but it's a very big investment. There is movement right now toward a master plan. There's going to be conversations with legislators coming up in the next couple of weeks about that master plan. by the end of the year, I think we're going to have a very good idea
It
of
will
what
have
we're
to
going
be
to do.
rebuilt, not refurbished.
It's going to need to be rebuilt because, you know, jails are not like 8 stories anymore.
I can recall incidents back in the days of George Lear, the first county executive, taking place at the jail.
Yeah.
Got to stop it there. Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming in.
Thank you very much.
That is Jackson County Legislator Krista Williams. Now let's meet the panel and start a ruckus.